Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I have a unique opportunity to talk with YouTube celebrity in the Philippines with Mark. We already make interview about Mark's story. You can watch it later, and today I want to discuss with him a story about his house.
Okay.
Mark, how long have you been living here?
It's over 2 years now.
Why did you choose the Philippines for long stay, and especially Dumaguete?
Well, the main reason was I was actually going to go to Thailand when I left America, and I'd watched a lot of YouTube videos on Thailand. I'd been to Thailand way back in the 1980s and said, well, you know, it seems like a lot of guys are going there and it's affordable. That was the main reason. But then I stumbled across some videos on the Philippines, and I knew a lot of Filipinos working on cruise ships. They were always very nice people, and I did not realize that, you know, most people in the Philippines speak English. And also at that time, back when I came here 4 years ago, it was very easy to get a visa. You showed up at the airport, they stamped your visa for, 30 days, and then you could keep renewing that for 3 years. So that was the main reason. And so I came here, stayed in an Airbnb up in the mountain by Castro Falls for about a little over 10 days. And it was okay, but it was very primitive, a fan screwed to the wall, a mattress on the floor, shared kitchen, so really basic, but it was cheap. And then I saw Rique's video on Dulce Vida, an apartment complex in the same area in Valencia, and it was very nice. It was like kind of California style, it was built by an American, and they had studio apartments there for, I think it was 12,000. And so I went there and looked at it. They had one apartment left, and but they wanted first month's, last month, and a 1 month deposit, which I didn't have. And so I talked to the owner, and she agreed to let me pay it off like in stages. So every month I paid a little bit more to pay off that 1 extra month there, put it in reserve. And I was there for a good 2 years. And then I moved to Big Rock because I knew the owner of that place who built it. He was a friend of mine, and also he had stayed at Dulce Vida when he was building his complex. So I was there for actually, I was at Dulce Vida, I think, for a little over a year, then a year at Big Rock, and then came here.
How does living in this house compare to your previous place, like in Big Rock?
No comparison. I mean, look at this place. It's huge. We've got 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths. It's furnished. We got 3 free internets that come with it. We got free water. We don't pay for water. As far as bottled water, they keep it on site here. It's 25 pesos. So if I want a bottle of water, the groundskeeper, I just say, hey, can you bring me up a bottle of water? He brings me up a bottle of water, 25 pesos. I don't have to call anybody. When we run out of gas, we just tell them, hey, we need some gas, and they keep a can downstairs. They bring it up, hook it up for us. We got gas. We don't have to call the gas company or anything. So it's all nice and simple. The owners are just super nice people. But they don't live on the property anymore. They moved back to Australia. And so they just come and visit every once in a while, like a couple times a year. So basically, we got this huge property. I don't know how many acres it is. I bet if you see the whole walled-in area, what they've got here, it's probably 10, 15 acres right on the beach. And it's basically all to ourselves except for one little studio apartment with 1 person in, and a house in the far corner with 1 person in, and that's it. It's just, we have it all to ourselves. So doesn't get any better, really.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
I know.
It's quiet too.
Yeah. And how did you find it?
Facebook.
Yeah,
I was looking on Facebook. The only reason I left Big Rock, where I was staying at by Castro, which it was okay. It was a 1 bedroom, really not a 1 bedroom. It had like a room divider. There wasn't even a door in the bedroom, so it really wasn't a 1 bedroom. And the problem there is like the road where people park their bikes in front of their houses or their apartments, they drive right by your bedroom every day.
Yeah.
And then also the road to Big Rock was very muddy, especially this time of year. So it was kind of, I fell over my bike a couple times there. And also they had a generator there. They told us when we moved in that they would, if the power went out 10 minutes later, they'd turn on the generator, and we would have lights, we would have a fan, we'd have internet. Wouldn't have AC and wouldn't have hot water, but at least I was working online then. At least I could still work online. But once we moved in, the owner decided no, he wasn't going to turn on the generator because he didn't want to waste the diesel. And so that's when me and some of the other guys living there decided to look elsewhere, and I found this place.
And what was the main reason when you found this place? Why you like fall in love in it.
I just loved the idea of being on the beach, and I saw how huge it was. The price was incredible, and I just said, I'll take it, you know.
Okay. What is the negative side living here on the first
I
place?
don't have any, really. I can't think of any. I mean, the road here is fine. It's quiet, you know. There's no karaoke, occasional rooster out there, you know. The beach is life, you know. I swim every day, you know. I think the only negative thing is my wife complains it's such a big house to clean. It's a lot of work keeping this place clean, you know. But we have a maid that comes like, you know, once a month and helps her clean, you know, do a deep clean once a month, so it's all good.
Yeah, but now I'm staying in the first line as well, and you know, in my place, I feel like all metal electronics, bike, and all metal parts are how you say it?
Corroding.
Yeah, growing in.
Yeah, this is true. So what we do, and I did this before I moved in here, down at Lee Plaza in the stationery section, they've got these plastic little like briefcases, you know, and they're like, you know, $2, you know, like 100 pesos. And we keep our laptops inside there. We're not using them. You can see right there, I've got mine in that little case there, and I keep it zipped up. Yeah. And all of my wires and stuff and my connectors and things like that, I keep in another plastic bag. But yeah, you're right, it does. We have that fishing pole that's sitting over there is only 6 months old, and we were leaving it outside, you know, outside our front door, and I looked at it the other day, and all the little, you know, things of the thread, the line goes through are all corroded. And I've noticed getting some rust on my bike. So yeah, that's part of, if you're going to live on the beach, the ocean is going to eat your house. Yeah. That's why it's good to have a rental instead of owning the house. But we haven't had, you know, too much trouble, you know, with things. But like that fan right there, if you look at it closely, you can see that it's starting to rust. Yeah. And that's just a price you pay. I think our TV so far has been fine, but the owner downstairs, he had to replace the TV after like 4 years. So.
Yeah, but I heard that it's more healthy to breathe.
Oh, way more. Yeah, like we leave our windows open 24/7. Even when it's raining, the way this house is designed, even when it's raining, the water doesn't come in unless it's blowing right off the ocean, and then we just close that one bank of windows. We leave the rest of them open. The only time we've ever shut all the windows in this house is when they had the typhoon. And so they had the typhoon. We actually had to tie the windows shut with rope to keep from being sucked open by the wind, because the wind was so strong.
You mean a typhoon last year, yeah? Yeah, strong typhoon.
And we lost like 7 trees that fell down the property, but this house didn't get hurt at all. Oh. Nothing, not any damage, zero. And there was, I mean, it was incredible wind. And so we were fine.
Yeah, it looks like it built not like in Filipino style, but more in Western style, yeah?
Well, the owner's Australian.
Oh.
He's built many houses, not just here, but also in Australia. He's got a big house on the beach in Australia, and so he knows what he's doing when it comes to construction. Yeah. And also, even like the bricks that they use, the cinder blocks they use to build this house, they're special ones. They're bigger than the normal. He has special made. They're bigger blocks, and they supervise, you know, every bit of construction. And you can see it's very Western style, you know, and you know, marble countertops, and we got an oven, and you know, everything just like Western, so it's really good.
Yeah, so like when someone architecture is focus on the small details, yeah, like to make it really smart from the beginning.
Well, there's really nice little details. You see the wainscoting there, you know, in the ceiling, like a lot of nice little things. There's plenty of outlets around the house, and you know, everything is good. Even things like the furniture is all custom made. All this furniture was built for this house. Like we got the 2 bar stools over there. When I moved in, there wasn't any bar stools. And so I'd been there like a year, and I asked the owner, I said, hey, Alan, you don't think there's any chance you could get us a couple of bar stools? I thought he'd just go down to Hypermart and buy 2 cheap bar stools. And like a month goes by, no bar stools. I didn't say anything about it. You know, I just had mentioned it one time. And then all of a sudden they show up, and these 2 really nice bar stools he had custom built just for this house. Oh. You know, so everything was custom made, highest quality. And it's really nice, you know, to have that. Even things like our bed is like a mattress you'd get from America, like the pillow top mattress, you know, it's not one of those styrofoam things they sell down at Hypermart.
Yeah, like not, how you call it?
Yeah, it's not like that. So everything's quality. And the property is Even though he doesn't live here anymore, he's got a groundskeeper that's out there right now. He works 6 days a week, keeping the property perfect. He has a maid that keeps the lower part of this building all up kept, and then she'll help us out if we have a party or Jen wants help cleaning. You know, she'll come up here and we pay her extra, and she'll help us too. You know, so we've got that also.
Yeah, you made a wise choice, yeah?
Yeah, really good.
And what is your favorite place in your house, where you spend most of your time?
Right there, at that table there, you know, and then of course, you know, watching TV. We've got a big TV and watch a lot of movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
And we're outside a lot too. Like we've got 3 hammocks out there set up by the ocean. And
yeah, but where do you like to spend your time, mostly outside or inside of house?
I don't know, it's 50-50. Like we spend a lot of time on our deck. We've got a really nice deck out there.
Yeah,
we sit out there day and night. We've got lights out there and everything, so it's nice out there. We barbecue out there. That's really nice. And my work I usually do right here, my videoing. I do it right over there. We got a whole bedroom we don't even use. I'm going to probably turn it into a studio, you know, eventually.
Yeah. Do you have some places in your house like for only your wife and maybe for only you? Like
that's a good question. Yeah, since we had 3 bedrooms, when I first met my wife, she had very little possessions. I mean, all of her stuff would fit in a backpack. And then, you know, we've been together 3 years now. So, you know, girls had, you know, choir clothes and shoes and all the girly stuff.
Yeah. No, you know, now you need truck, yeah?
Yeah, I needed 2 truckloads to bring her stuff here. And so I told her, I said, like, we have 1 bedroom, the big bedroom doesn't have a bathroom in it, but it's the nicest bedroom. And so he said, well, that'll be our bedroom. The other smaller bedroom has its own, you know, full CR in it. And I said, look, why don't you take that bedroom and use it as like your dressing room, you know, your room, because she comes from a big family. She never had any privacy. Her and her sister used to sleep on the floor in a house with dirt floors and, you know, no windows, no screens, no nothing, getting eaten up by mosquitoes every night. Yeah. And I said, look, you take that room and you can put all your dresses and clothes and shoes and makeup and all that stuff in there and have that as your space. And she loves it. She's got her own space now. And then the main bedroom, I keep all my clothes there. So they're not all mixed up and we have plenty of room for our stuff. And then it said we still have another bedroom left over, which we'll probably turn into a studio.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have your personal space.
Yeah.
I mean, for relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, like, you know, her sister spends the night over here every once in a while, and so she uses that bedroom, and she'll spend the night there. If a guest comes over, we got a bedroom with with a bathroom and a bed and everything in there, and they can stay in there, even though Jen's got her clothes and stuff in there. That's handy.
How much is your average electricity and water bill here?
Water bill's free. We don't pay for water at all. Electricity, for a while there, when it was really hot, we were running the AC in the bedroom at night only, 7 days a week. And I think we were paying an average of 3,000 pesos, around $60 a month electricity. But recently, it's been so cool, we haven't used it at all. So I imagine our utility, like this month, will probably be around, 1,500 pesos, something like that, around $30. We run fans a lot in here. Of course, we've got, our big TV and, cooking and stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, I mentioned that you prefer fans instead of aircon because I had stereotype about Americans that they like really fans of aircons everywhere.
Well, I know guys have done that. When I lived at Dulce Vita, there was this guy. He had a 2-bedroom apartment, a deluxe apartment. I used to have the studio. And I went in there one day to visit him, and it's like freezing cold. And I said, wow, I got the AC on. He had 2 AC units cranking. He said, well, I refuse to be hot. And so he had it running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he got his bill, and it was like $300 a month.
Oh.
Yeah, it was expensive for an apartment. AC is expensive. Electricity is expensive here in the Philippines. Probably, I don't know what it's like in America. I've heard it's going up, but it's expensive here. Now, when I was in America, I had a 5-bedroom house, and in America, the way the houses are designed, when you have the AC on, it's the entire house. Like all 5 bedrooms, I had 3 bathrooms, everything was AC'd, and when the heat was on, it heated the entire house. Like there's vents all over, so it's central heating, central air conditioning, and then of course they had TVs and lights and everything else. But even then, I was only paying, I think the most I'd pay was like $200 a month.
Oh.
Whereas if I was doing the same, had a house like I had in America here, running things the way it was there, it probably cost me $600-700 a month, I would think, So,
Can you share some your favorite memories from this house?
Yeah, we had our wedding reception here, you know, and had our Christmas party. You've been at all of them.
Yeah.
You know, Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving every year.
I have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have parties here. It's such a nice space for parties because we've got, the owner has like 10 of these big round tables and chairs for like 60 people, you know, stored right downstairs. So if we want to do a party, we can just tell the groundskeeper and he'll bring up all these tables, set them up with tablecloths and chairs and everything, and instant party. You know, we can have, you know, dinners here and whatever we want. So that's something you don't find anyplace else. And then we've got our own private beach too.
Yeah, it's a really amazing place.
Yeah. So.
Have you faced with any challenges or obstacles living here?
No, not really. The nice thing about renting, especially when you have an excellent landlord like I've got, anything goes wrong. We've had a couple little things like a drippy faucet, one of the hot water things quit working. There was a problem with the toilet one time. And we usually just tell the groundskeeper comes right up and fixes it, or they have somebody come out and fix it. The AC units here, these have to be serviced several times a year. They come and they take the whole thing apart and rinse it out and do all this stuff to it. That's all done. We don't have to take care of it. You know, it's all fixed. My friend that lives in the house that's also on this property at the far end, his refrigerator went out, and that day they got him another refrigerator. You know, so it's like if you have your own house, like if this is my house and, you know, the hot water heater went out, I'd have to find out, where do I find somebody to come out?
Yeah.
What's it going to cost? You know, how do I do it? You know, all this stuff. And here it's like, you know, not even a phone call. I can just walk downstairs and tell the maid or tell the groundskeeper, or I can send an email to the owner in Australia, and it's taken care of instantly. Instantly.
I think I have your answer, but I still want to ask you, in case, do you want to buy your own house maybe in the future?
Never.
Never, yeah?
No.
You prefer renting because of
Well, here, in this country, the way the laws are and stuff, I have no interest in buying property, buying a house. I have friends of mine now, they're in the process of building a house, and they've got to sit there every day, all day long, and supervise the construction, even though it's a contractor there. Because if things go wrong, they do the wrong this, the wrong that. I mean, so many things went wrong with my friend's house, and he caught them all. But like, it was supposed to be a 12-foot ceiling. It was 11-foot ceiling. They had a washer that was supposed to drain into a separate septic tank. Instead, they plumbed it into the street. You know, things like that.
You mean Greg's and Wilma house? Yeah, I made interview with them, so you can watch it
so
later.
many things, you know, that he's had to supervise. So I don't want to go through that.
Yeah,
and,
I know what you mean.
And you put all that money in, millions and millions of pesos, and I'm not going to live long enough to see a return on my investment. And I'd rather have my money free for other things. But someday, you know, my wife is much younger than me, so probably someday as I get older, I might buy a piece of property and build a house, not to live in, but build a house for her to own, so that, you know, when I'm gone, she's got that house, you know, bought and paid for, and she can either live there or rent it out. But sometime in the future, if I can afford it, I would do something like that.
Yeah,
but I have no desire. I mean, I couldn't afford to build something better than this. I mean, this is a multi-million-dollar piece of property here, you know, in dollars, not in pesos.
Yeah, I think it's a really big thing about if you have goals after your life.
Yeah.
So like it's very mature, how you say.
Well, you know, if you're younger, like a guy your age, that's a whole different thing. If they ever change the laws so you can own something 100%, and you know, you've told me you plan on staying here forever. And so for you, it probably makes sense to, you know, buy a piece of property and build yourself your own house and own it. But for me, it just doesn't make sense financially, you know.
I know.
And plus, I'm not going to find anything better than I've got now.
Yeah.
You know.
So you don't have any plans to move from this place,
I get asked that all the time. Hey, if you ever move, you know, call me up. And they send me messages. Hey, Mark, is there any place like yours that you can find for me? I said, no, I can't. This is the only one, you know.
Yeah, it's unique.
So even if someday, you know, my YouTube channel takes off or whatever, and I'm super wealthy, and I decide to buy a house in America or someplace else in the world, I would still keep this place, you know, and use it as a home base or vacation or whatever. You know, I wouldn't give it up. So.
Can you say how much do you pay for this house? I mean, rent?
Yeah, it's 30,000 pesos a month, which is a little less than $600.
Yeah, it's so good price for this
It's
house.
incredible price.
Yeah.
Incredible price.
Yeah, you cannot find better.
No. I know people that are paying 25,000 for a one-bedroom, apartment.
Yeah, I saw it. Where do you usually buy groceries? Is it far away from here?
There's only two choices: Hypermart or Robinsons. And
Yeah.
I can be at Robinsons, depending on traffic, most days 15 minutes. Because they're right on the highway.
Yeah.
And I can be downtown, or I can be at Hypermart in 15, 20 minutes. I can be downtown Dumaguete on the boulevard in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's good
So
location.
It's not bad at all,
Yeah, and it's not so noisy like in downtown, Dumaguete.
And the road, the main highway from this house is a little over, about a kilometer and a half, from here, so you don't hear the road.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Do you have any advices for someone who want to find a house in the Philippines?
Don't sign a one-year lease. Like every place I lived, even here, I do month to month. Because you never know if something happens, like say there's an emergency and you've got to move out and go back to America or something. You don't want to be stuck, in a one-year lease. And so I would go month to month. And also, like, I know people, like the last place I lived at Big Rock, I moved in there. And right after we moved in, they opened a church right next door on the other side of the retaining wall. And they were playing loud music every Sunday morning. Then they started letting a band rehearse at night, like 5 days a week with drums and stuff. I mean, right, within like 20 yards of our apartment.
Yeah,
And
it's hard to work, it's hard to live.
Yeah, I couldn't teach English, I couldn't do videos.
Yeah.
And then they had a rule where there's going to be no children there, but they let kids move in anyway. And I used to film at night on my decks. They had a view of the mountains, and I go out there to film a video, and everybody's in the pool screaming, yelling, and stuff. So I couldn't film there anymore either.
Yeah.
And so but if I would have signed a year lease, one of my neighbors in apartment number 1 at Big Rock, he signed a 1-year lease and paid a whole year up front. And then COVID hit, he got stuck in Seattle. So he just basically threw away a whole year. So I don't recommend doing that.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, for your story. It was interesting to hear. Yeah, and guys, check out Mark's channel because Mark is one of my teachers. Yeah, I can say like you teach me. Mentor. You it's not so important that you taught me, but it's important that you inspired me. Every time we talk, you told me a lot of stories about YouTubers, about living here. So it really means a lot for me. And guys, check out his channel. He has a lot of interviews, really interesting deep talks with so many people. I don't know, maybe 700 interviews there.
I don't know how many I got. I think it's more like 300, but
300.
But also on Alex's channel, guys. I mean, if you're watching this video, please subscribe to his channel, but also do something else.
Thank you.
Share it with your friends. Like if you got friends on Facebook and you see a video you like, just share it with your friends on Facebook and ask them to share it, and that'll help Alex get more subscribers and increase his channel, increase his revenue, and it doesn't cost you anything. So be nice and do that for him.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and thank you guys for watching it. See you. Bye.
Okay, bye.